we've come all the way down the valley, and well, not at the bottom of it, we're probably about halfway down, but it's not as easy to find places as one would ideally like. So we've found this spot through here where a bivy will go, and obviously, Lassie! A bivy will go through here. It's not perfect. Lassie, get back. But I think it will suffice. It is quite breezy, plus rain is forecast later this afternoon. Ooh. And overnight. And given that I want, you know, some degree of comfort in camp, I'm going to attempt to put the tarp up. Now I've brought the poncho tarp, so I'm probably going to need some extra lines which I've brought with me, but we'll kind of see how it goes really. This is kind of going to be a work in progress type of thing. Oh, it's really going to be a very rough pitch, kind of see where we are as much as anything else. Oh. Okay, so bearing in mind that my head's going to be there, clearly we're too far back, so you know we need to be bringing it forward. Alright, so we probably need to come forward a little bit more on this one here. That one there up there might be okay. Yeah, that might be okay there. We might have to jiggle things a bit, as old Arkwright used to say. Alright, I've got plenty of extra line with me. Right. What we'll do is we'll just get a rough pitch first, and then we'll start thinking about height and all that type of thing, you know, in a minute, because clearly we need to get a little bit of height to it. Okay, well, you can see the general shape that we're going for. It's going to need tweaking, so I'm trying to get the back kind of along and down a bit. The back obviously going to need tidying up, and the front's going to need tidying up over here. We've got plenty of lines, you know, that we can use. So I think a little bit more tightening up and tweaking needed. I think another one needs to go on there just to tighten that up there. But anyway, we've got a groundhog in here. It's a bit of a funny angle, but should be okay. We've managed to get a groundhog in here. Again, it's not perfect, but we'll go through them. I'll go through them and make sure they're okay. Then I got one of my V pegs in there. I got a groundhog in there. I got a V peg there. I've got a groundhog there. I got a V peg there and a V peg up there. And I've used 1, 2, 3 at the front. Probably won't need to use these two here. So in the end, for the poncho, I will have used 4 at the back, 3 at the front, so that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 1 at the side, 8, 9. So I just need to get one in there. And I can just feel a few spits of rain coming, so I think I'm going to get this tweaked and then get under cover under there. Welcome to camp. We're going to try this 850. We're going to try this 800 calorie expedition foods. Tony H10, 10% off. Round up, round up, round up. Get it while the going's good. So one-time offer. They probably won't ever give us a discount again on this channel. So that's what it looks like inside. Looks okay. This is the potato and beef hot pot. Once again, we've pre-boiled the water. They say fill to the line, but unless I'm missing something, I don't see a line. So I'm just going to put a load of water in. I actually think I'm looking forward to that. All right, so we got to give it. I'm going to put some more water on to boil just in case that wasn't enough, because they really ought to give, you know, as a minimum, if they can't give a line.
The volume of water required is to the left of the barcode,
Or as indicated on the label, but where on the label, you know, is it what label? And where is it indicated? I don't see anything indicated. So can someone tell me where is the indicated line? And they don't even tell you how much water to do. So we're kind of, you know, guesstimating it a bit. So we will put more water on. And I think it was 5 minutes. So it's 5 to 5. So we're going to put water on to boil for tea. And then obviously if we need more water for that, then we can do that as well. With the Tentacle Track E, I've got it on. I've noticed that the GoPro 11 synchronizes with it much more efficiently and much quicker. The Hero 10, which is this one, it's very difficult to get it synchronized. You have to hold it up like that for ages to get a synchronization from it. The 11, hold the code up, done, instant. I'm wondering with the 10 whether I need to make sure that the back is on, and then if the back is on, you know, the screen at the back, and then do it that way, because it seemed to work when I was doing it like that. So we will see. I've got the Tentacle Track E. So I've got the wire, you know, I've got the microphone up here. And then I've got the Track E there, and then I've got the power adapter going in because the battery was going down on it a little bit. And indeed, I was using the GoPro 10 just for a bit of a change today, no real reason why. I kind of just alternate between the 10 and the 11. I do think the 11 probably is better. All right. So let's have another look at the instructions on here. 5 minutes. So it's pretty quick. Pretty quick. Okay, that water is on. We remember to take the thing out. I don't think this is the best pitch in the world, but it will it will suffice for one night. Otherwise I'd have ended up walking God knows how much further down the valley. And I thought, well, we've just got to take the first really reasonable place that we could find walking down, and there wasn't that many to choose from, to be honest. Okay, well, that is 5 minutes. Let's see what it's like after 5 minutes. It's hot. It's not bad. It does hydrate quickly. I mean, most of them are like 10 minutes or more. I don't know how they get this to hydrate so quickly. I noticed on this bigger one, there's a cut point along there where you can get to your grub more easily. That's a pretty ingenious thing. I must admit, that really is pretty nice. So, until the 17th of May, 10% off Expedition Foods, Tony Hobbs, no, Tony H10. And I must admit, it is pretty good. And as I said in my other videos, I had to use my own code to get these. They didn't even give them to me. Miserable gits. I had to buy my own. Buy your own promotion. But it's not bad. That is pretty nice, actually. It hydrates very quickly. The only downside to the 10% off I can offer you is a charge £4.50 postage. So you've got to spare 50 odd pounds, about 5 of them, to save your postage. And buy your own promotion. But it is not. It is surprisingly nice, actually. I really don't know how they get it to hydrate so quickly. But it really does hydrate quickly. I mean, I just gave it 5 minutes, you know, just to see. And it's completely hydrated. Now that is quite filling. I felt quite hungry after yesterday's 450 calorie one. But after 800 calories, that is quite filling. I think I will get some more of these myself. Use my own 10%. I'll probably be the only one who uses the 10% code. Tony Hobbs, no, sorry, Tony H10. 10% off. But you've got to get 5 of them, otherwise you won't save anything, because they charge postage. Oh, that was nice. I did enjoy that. And I don't know how much water I put in. I guess about 300 ml. About. There's nothing to say how much, no markings. I can't see a marking. It's an invisible marking. Just admit, that was nice. Oh, fuck at me. I should definitely get a few more of those. I think they're ridiculously expensive, but I don't know, just sometimes it's just nice to have a meal like that. I don't always want to carry sausages and those supermarket things I was getting. They're okay, but I can't say I particularly enjoy it. I really need more food ideas. Anyway, I'm going to make a cup of tea and I will see you all a little bit later. Well, good evening everybody, and a note to Mr. European Grumpy Man. I saw your comment that you deleted. Well, I could see one line of what you deleted. If you think for 1 second that I actually care to a degree what people or companies think, you know, if people and companies want to watch a proper, genuine, honest, open, fun channel with proper criticism, proper complimentary things, proper thoughts and proper understanding on things, you know, from someone who's been doing camping for 10 plus years rather than 5 minutes, then, you know, anyway, that's my rant over. I don't know why people bother leaving comments and then deleting them. If you're going to leave a comment and expect to reply back, or just don't bother commenting. Anyway, we're in camp. We have put the poncho up today. Lassie is eating what's left of the beef hot pot, plus obviously she's had her biscuit or her dinner. Like I said, the forecast is for rain at some time during the night, so we've got our feet out, you know, for the rain to take. That's fine. But oh, I mean, it's, you know, clearly event waterproof, so it should be fine. We're angled downhill, so rain isn't gonna come in at me. I have finally, if I haven't edited it yet, done a video on this version of the Sierra Designs Flex capacitor. For anyone who's interested in this version, which I don't think they make anymore, which is a bit of a shame. But I'm going to have a cup of tea. I've got my tea making apparatus that fits perfectly there. There's plenty of, you know, plenty of space there. It doesn't flare up, this one, so it's fine. Yeah, and that's it, and so we can sit up, you know. Not many of you in your tents can comfortably sit up, you know. Okay, my head's brushing the top, but you know, that's fine. We've got air flow at the back. The pack is acting as a windbreak, you know, at that bit there where it's quite high off the ground. So the pack is acting as a windbreak there. The rest of it is quite low down. And I've kind of brought the sides of the shelter in here and in here. So we've kind of got almost a conventional V-shaped door here. You could do the poncho as well, any kind of way really. It's the fun of tarps, you know, to be honest. I've put loads of lines on it, especially down these two here, because the ground there was very stony. It was really difficult. This line here, this second line, I had to join two lines together, you know, to peg it out over there, because it's just all stone here. It was really difficult to find somewhere. I thought in a minute I'm going to have a 20-mile guy line in the next valley. This guy line here, this is kind of an interesting one if you're interested in guy lines, because it's so close. I didn't have a very short guy line, so I threaded the guy line around a peg and then up up to another peg, and then that peg up there is kind of, you know, holding it in place. So sometimes you have to adapt to your surroundings or whatever. But it's, I mean, considering I got here at what, about 4 o'clock or something like that, and it's now gone 7, I literally don't know where the time's gone. All I've done is pitch this. I did have to go off and, you know, do some business. I've eaten, and I've done a video. Mind you, that took about 30 odd minutes, so that'll need editing down a bit, but I've done a video on the flex capacitor. Yeah, I mean, this is very nice. Like I say, I think with this, people getting free stuff, I think people just say how brilliant and wonderful everything is, point blank, because they just want more free stuff. They're only concerned about pleasing the people who give them free stuff for more free stuff. I ain't doing that. If you want to send me something, if as a company, if you want to send something, then, you know, by all means reach out. And I'm very happy to try other things, you know, bring other things camping, you know, and give my honest, jokey, fun, sarcastic, cheeky thoughts and opinions on it. But I think all the companies, they just want yes people. Let them get on with it. Like I said, I can't possibly change what I'm doing, you know. This is me, and that's it. And yes, obviously I'd like more views and all that bull BS. Let's see. But you know, if that means, you know, becoming something that isn't me, fuck it. This is me, and that's it. And if, like I keep saying, if just a few hundred of you watch, more than happy with that. Anyway, I think a cup of tea is in order now. I'll tell you, this is the life. I mean, look at that for a view, though. That's not a bad view, is it? I mean, no, it's not one of your tops or anything, but, you know, everyone camps on tops. Not everyone camps, you know, not everyone finds a little nook and cranny, and this literally is a nook and a cranny. I mean, you'd get the trail star in here, you know, give or take a bit. It would be a bit fiddly, but you would get the trail star in here. And that's about it. And obviously a tarp. You might get the cricket in here, maybe. But yeah, I mean, this is just perfect tarp camping situations, this. And I must admit, if I'm finding somewhere to camp, I want to find somewhere that's out of the way. I mean, I've had 3 camps here and I haven't seen a soul. I haven't seen a soul today. I haven't seen anyone today. I saw a few people across the top yesterday. And then obviously once I was in camp, I didn't see anyone. There was no way that anyone was going to be walking down that valley. I would have been amazed if someone had walked down that valley. And the same here. There's just no way that someone is going to be walking down this valley. It's just too steep. There's no real paths down here. There's some sheep tracks and things like that, but I really don't think you're going to get someone walking down this valley, because you're going to walk, if you're going down the valley, you're going to walk across either tops. You're not going to walk in right down by the water. I was really lucky to find this spot, to be honest, because I looked up further up and there was 1 or 2 places that looked, you know, like if you were really desperate, but they didn't look that brilliant, I must admit. They're quite a slope on them. And then, like I said, I came down here and I just spotted this spot here. And like I said, you can see the far hill over there where the farmer's been along on his buggy. But, you know, I haven't seen... And realistically, is the farmer going to see me up here? It's not that likely. And even if he did, I'm so out of the way here, he would literally have to walk several hundred meters to get here, and I don't think many farmers have got the time to do that. This is really nice. This is a really nice spot, actually. I think my first night, probably the first night was the best spot. That arguably was the best spot. I think this one is probably the second best. This is pretty good, actually. This is probably the second best. Apart from the stones, it's really difficult to peg this out. Really, really difficult to peg this. So this is probably the second best, but pegging is awkward, which kind of makes it equal second best with where I was last night. But last night I was starting to squash those, that grassy stuff. So I think it would have been, you probably could have stayed out another night there, and I think those reeds would have held. But eventually you would have flattened the reeds and then you would have just had another slope. It was really those reeds that were kind of keeping you in place. But yeah, this is really nice. This is so relaxing. So relaxing. Especially once you're in camp. Not always relaxing when you're walking and stumbling over the ground and everything, but it was very short walking. I don't do much walking. The clouds are going over left to right up there. At some point it's going to change to the north, which I think is kind of in that direction, which is one reason why I decided to bring this panel down this way a little bit. So if it does blow this way, you know, I've got more shelter, because my original plan was to have it sort of, you know, completely open at the front, which you could easily do. You probably get a tighter pitch on that panel and probably tighter on that panel as well if you angled them outwards. But it's fine like that. It doesn't have to be, you know, it doesn't have to be super tight all the time. No, this is really, really nice. This is so cozy. And if you're looking for a tarp, if you're looking like for a one-man tarp, you know, obviously MLD do the Grace taps and things like that, which are excellent. You know, I could have put one of those through here as well, although the difficulty that I would have had with that is because I'm angled downwards that way, I'm not quite sure how I would have, you know, pitched it, because I would have had to have pitched it this end down, because the winds are kind of coming across this way. So I'd have had to have pegged it down at the back, which would have then meant that my head was going slightly downhill. Whereas with a tarp pitched width-wise across you, and then a waterproof bivy, you know, so your legs are outside effectively, this actually makes for a very, very adaptable shelter. And MLD, they do the monk tarp, and I think from memory the monk tarp is the same length, but it's a little bit, it's not as wide. It's about, I'll say 4 to 6 inches, like not as wide, and it's probably potentially a bit lighter than this. Lassie, come here. Come on. Come on. But the extra, you know, the extra 6 inches that you get with this means that, and mind you, the back is pitched quite high off the ground. That's why I've got this pack as a windbreak, which is working quite well here. But it does mean with the back pitched quite high, I'm quite a long way back. I mean, I'm halfway, I'm 3/4 of the way in it, really. And I've got, you know, absolute ton of coverage forward of me. This is a really, really adaptable shelter. This is really good. You do, if you have the poncho version there, you do need to know your knots, or you need to have those little tent, you know, things for tightening up things. You need to, Lassie, you need to know, you know, things like that. You need to have some carabiners with you, like I've got, you know, over there. So I've got carabiners on most of the, because you don't get line locks with this. So you need to have those carabiners, but they're super light. They don't weigh anything. And they seem pretty strong. I've not had one break or anything. They seem pretty decent. Well, good morning everybody. This is the next morning, obviously. We got through the night very well. I just watched a film last night. I think I put my head down. It was quite late last night. I didn't really feel so tired, but I put my head down about midnight. And then I didn't wake up until about 10 o'clock this morning, and it's about 11:45 now. And I've got to get back down, south. So it's kind of been, get some porridge down my stomach and a couple of cups of tea and slowly pack up. So I've not really done, you know, I haven't done any filming today, and I'm going to be camping with Chris Townsend in a few weeks' time up in Scotland somewhere. So, and I've already got a lot of footage, and I haven't completely finished the last one either. So sometimes not doing filming probably is not a bad idea, although I try to waffle as much as I can. But I'll just briefly show you. So this obviously is, you know, the tarp. I didn't change it at all. I put a couple of stones on a couple of pegs here and here. because they were not really very well positioned, but they held fine. The others I did manage to get in. As you can see, we had some rain in the night. I don't know how much because I mostly slept through it all. My guess is it was maybe 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. There might have been, I think I woke about 6, and there might have been some rain at 6, but it wasn't heavy rain. And the bivy kept all the rain out of the sleeping bag that was sticking out the door. It actually worked, you know, really quite well. As I said, I couldn't get that side there completely tight, but it's a shelter position and it really doesn't matter. It just had to cover me up. So I'll just show you around camp, and then I'm going to pack away the shelter and get cracking. So I put the pack lengthwise on its side at the back, and that acted actually as a very, very efficient windbreak at the back. Not that there really was any wind as such yesterday. There was some when we got here, but it died down, you know, within an hour or two of being here. It settled down pretty quickly. No real problems, you know, no real problems there. So I've got everything's in the pack. I've just got the map out, which obviously I keep handy. And then the bivy is in there, which will go on the outside of the pack. The tarp I will stick in there as well, and that will go on the outside of the pack with those straps. And that's it, and then we're ready to get going. So, you know, kind of, I don't know how I'll do this. I'll probably just tag this on to yesterday's, you know, video, because it's really just this chat here for a few minutes. But I really do need to try and get going, because it's a good 3 or 4 kilometers from here. It's probably about 4 kilometers from here to the car, which is not exactly a million miles, but it's still going to take me an hour or two over this, because there's no paths here. You kind of got to get across this stuff, which is not that difficult. But I'm not the quickest these days. I'm not as quick and agile on the old legs as I once was, annoyingly. Nor am I as fit and active as I was, annoyingly. Anyway, I'm going to get going, and I will either see you later, but if not, enjoy this series of videos, and I will look forward to seeing you, you know, on the next adventure trip, for those of you that wish to, you know, come along and have some fun for a bit of time watching. All right, until next time, thanks for watching. And don't forget, like, subscribe, share, notifications, all that stuff. Thanks very much.